Welcome to Real Life Truth, the channel where we dive deep into the real stories and experiences that matter. Today, we're delving into a crucial topic: to be a woman's priority. Hi guys, have you ever felt like a woman's plan B when you should have been her first choice? I remember years ago, my cousin Anthony started talking to this girl named Anitha. At first, the vibes were intense, their connection was great, etc. But as the weeks went on, he began to feel that something was just off, it wasn't right. Anitha always seemed to have something going on. When Anthony tried to set up a date, it was always met with a plethora of excuses. I'm busy with work, or I have plans with my girls tonight. Don't get me wrong, everyone has their own life, but she started rescheduling him time and time again. So he started to feel like that he was just there to feel like the little gaps in her schedule. It all came to a head one Friday night. My cousin booked dinner at this rooftop restaurant, thinking that it would be a good time for them to actually connect. He was ready to lay it all out there, thinking that they could move past his phase. But Anitha texted him 2 hours before saying that she was held up at a work event and that she couldn't make it. To make matters worse, Anthony later found out the mutual friends that she was at a different bar with some of her friends. It was that gut-wrenching realization that, like a ton of bricks, he wasn't her priority, but rather an option she could fall back on when she had nothing better to do. He came to me one day asking me for advice on what to do. Exactly what I told him and any other man this in the exact same situation. The hard truth is this: when it comes to dating, if you're not the main course, you're just table scraps. There is no in between. But if you're in this situation, don't worry, because you've got me, and I have the unfiltered, unapologetic guy that will catapult you from being a woman's maybe to her must-have. Step 1. Breathe the room. Do you ever feel like you're just fitting into her busy life whenever it's convenient for her? That's your first red flag there. We're not just talking about a good night's text that she sends as an afterthought. This is so much bigger than that. This is about you, your worth, and your presence being relegated to a corner of her life. You should be the damn main event, not an afterthought. No man with even a shred of self-respect will allow himself to be demoted to exist in the background for too long. So I want you to really marinate in that reality. Understand what it means, because acknowledging it is your first step to flipping this group. Step 2. The law of reciprocity. Let's cut through the lies. Women are every bit as strategic as men, if not more. This isn't a one-sided chess match. You're putting in the work, showing her attention and giving her your time and whatever else she is giving you breadcrumbs in return. You're not just in a bad deal. You're teaching her that she can get away with it. This sets up a very high-risk dynamic where she understands the benefits of low effort. You're the one inflating her market value without any return on your investment. You have no ROI at this point. So what do you do about it? Either you adjust the scales and get the reciprocity your effort deserves, or you pull out of this one-sided transaction altogether. You wouldn't keep pouring money into a bad reinvestment, would you? The same logic applies here. Balance that emotional equation or cut losses. It's really just as simple as that. Step 3, you come first. You want to be the one she's watching when you walk into a room, don't you? To achieve that, you have to stop treating her like she's the sun and you're just a planet in her orbit. I'm talking about a full mindset shift here. Not just ignoring a few calls or turning down a last-minute invite. No, this is about the atmosphere you create, the energy you exude. The second you step through that door, what you're aiming for here is an aura of self-importance, magnetic pull that makes her feel like that she's going to lose her balance, that she's not careful. You've got to reframe the dynamics so you're not always the one that's readily available at her every second call. You should be living a life that's so fulfilling, so packed with purpose, that she starts to question whether she's even really a part of that agenda. Once she senses that your attention and focus have aligned, no longer spotlighting her as the main event, that's when you've got her attention, because you shift from being an accessory to becoming an essential key in her life, and she's not willing to lose it. 1. She's not willing to lose. Step 4. The novelty factor. The term familiarity breeds contempt isn't just a saying, it's a hard science. Psychologists call it habituation, and in layman's terms, it means that something that was once exciting is now boring and predictable. If you're a guy who comes around with the same pickup lines, the same old tactics, guess what? You're fast-tracking yourself in Who is that again? Category. So how do you beat this? You've got to shake things up, flip the script, and keep her on her toes. You have to inject unpredictability into the dynamics, keeping her guessing on what your next move will be. You want to be that unsolved equation, that puzzle she's drawn to, that enigma that she's dying to crack. You have to isolate between being the open book that she's already read and the secret that she's dying to figure out. By reintroducing the element of mystery and intrigue, you make sure that you're not just another face in the crowd, but the face that she can't stop thinking about. And that is how you ascend from being optional to being indispensable. Step 5, be surprised. A major mistake that trips up countless men is lay all their cards out on the table, offering her everything. And whether they get her returned, nothing. Why does this happen? It all boils down to a simple yet frequently overlooked concept, the value of scarcity. I'm not just talking about your time here, though. That is crucial. This goes beyond time. It's about your emotional real estate and your undivided attention too. The rarer you make these commodities, the more she's going to realize that she not only wants them, but she needs them. You don't have to announce this shift. Be subtle about it. Let transformation in how you allow your resources and time be sensed rather than stated. Make her feel the absence. As she feels this void, she'll start to question why she even feels this way. And you'll become the prize she's motivated to win. Your shift to scarcity should be something she experiences as a realization, kind of like an aha moment that makes her understand just how essential you are. That's when she stops taking you for granted and starts treating you like the quality thing that you've always been. Step 6, draw the lines. This is key. Having boundaries isn't about shutting yourself off from all emotions. It's about setting the ground rules for the engagement. This is your blueprint for self-respect. You're not just a doormat that she could walk all over. So go ahead and make her mind work a little bit. Let her imagination run wild. Wonder where you are, what you're up to, and who has the privilege of your company. And before say it, this is not game plan. This is mental engagement. In a world where everything is at our fingertips, the forgotten art of missing someone becomes a power play. It's time to reintroduce that concept in your dating dynamic. Your absence should make her reevaluate how she treats your presence. Your absence should make her reevaluate how she treats your presence. When you start to draw these lines, when you bring back that sense of uncertainty, that's when she begins to see you as someone she can potentially lose. That realization shifts the balance of power. The tactical brilliance of this strategy is that it creates an emotional urgency in her. She'll start seeing you not just as an option, but as a priority. Someone she can't afford to no longer take for granted. Because let's be real, nothing elevates her status in someone's life like the impending possibility of your absence. Step 7, show on what you got. Being a man of unparalleled substance means you're 100. 150, irreplaceable. If your reliability is consistent and your wisdom is solid, she won't just hesitate. She'll reevaluate her whole damn game plan. It's not just that you're a rarity. You're that driving force in her life that elevates it from ordinary to extraordinary. Losing you won't be an option for her. She won't look at you as just a